Upon release, the Mercedes-Benz CLS revitalised the brand's executive coupe segment, and it wasn't difficult to understand why. Now, this is the new Mercedes-Benz CLS Shooting Brake, and it's basically an estate version of the already good CLS. So let's have a little look around. Now, if you are in the market for a car such as this, then practicality is obviously a key thing on your mind, and when we open the electrically operated tailgate, it reveals nearly 600 litres of boot space with the seats up, and that's of course extended by folding the rear seats down. And there's also the benefit of plenty of storage nets, hooks and D-rings, so you shouldn't have any issues in securing your cargo. And that's not to mention there's a handy little 12-volt adapter in there. So let's see how your rear passengers would get on. Now, I don't think that your rear passengers will be too disappointed with the space that's available back here at all. I've got my driver's chair set up for myself, 6 foot plus, and I've got a fair amount of legroom and certainly plenty of headroom. There's also a lot of different storage options in the back and the ever useful 12-volt adapter. And I can't go without mentioning my favourite Mercedes feature out of them all is the funky cup holder. So let's take a look at the most important seat in the house. Standard equipment includes things like satellite navigation, parking sensors and the ever useful DAB digital radio, and you can really spec this car up, and the AMG Sports Pack is quite attractive. It gives you nice big wheels and a sport suspension. Now, the one thing that I've drawn from the interior of this car is how executive it does feel. It's very Mercedes in the way it's built, but it combines this luxurious executive feel with practicality. We've got some really useful storage compartments, plenty of storage, in fact. Nice cup holders, plenty of binnacles, iPod connectivity, everything you'd want from a very practical car combined with this wave of luxury. Let's take it out on the road. Find the keys. In terms of success, the CLS has been a little bit up and down over the last 10 years or so. For example, in the US it sold just over 2,000 units in 2010, yet 2 years later in 2012 sold over 8,000. The 250 CDI is a 4-cylinder unit that produces 201 brake horsepower, a massive 500 Nm of torque, and a 0 to 62 sprint time of just 7.8 seconds. It's crazy to think that even with that amount of power, the CLS Shooting Brake isn't even considered a sports car. There's no surprises when it comes to getting inside this car because it feels, well, very Mercedes. The steering is nice and light, the suspension is very soft and quite elegant, and it's an absolute joy to drive. And one thing that is a little bit disappointing within the cabin is the lack of visibility. Now, we've of course got these rather narrow windows that go the stretch of the vehicle, so there's not that much glass to see out of, but these A-pillars do leave you peering round them at junctions, and the C-pillars in the back are quite big, so it does make reversing a little bit difficult. But we have got a reversing camera, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue. This executive coupe is cool, plain and simple, not to mention that it's incredibly powerful and insanely fast. I certainly enjoyed the drive and wouldn't mind changing my BMW to the Merc. Controversial. If you've got any thoughts on this vehicle or review, then leave some comments in the box below, or subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube.